today to introduce articles of impeachment against Associate Justices of the Supreme Court Clarence Thomas and Samuel Anthony Alito, Jr. Nomination and appointment to the Supreme Court is one of the highest privileges and most consequential responsibilities of our nation. Such an appointment is uniquely insulated in its power. Confirmation to the court is a lifetime appointment whereby justices are entrusted with decisions that powerfully shape the nation as well as the lives of every American. For this reason and others, the Constitution rightfully and explicitly holds justices to even higher standards than members of Congress or even the President.
Welcome back, everyone. Please, before watching this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Conservative U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has just been hit with a 1-2 punch as Democratic lawmakers attempt to address alleged unethical behavior, legal analyst Glenn Kirshner said on Frida. Thomas was hit with articles of impeachment by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a New York Democrat, on Wednesday after Democratic Senators Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island and Ron Wyden of Oregon asked the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, to launch an investigation into alleged violations of Thomas. It was kind of the 1-2 punch, Kirshner, a former assistant U.S. attorney, said in a YouTube video posted to the Political Voices Network channel on Friday. When I saw these two developments, I thought back to my days as the chief of homicide at the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. I always told the incoming homicide prosecutors that it's really more important to try cases than to win cases. Newsweek has reached out to the Supreme Court via online form for comment from Thomas, the DOJ via online form, and Kirshner via text message for comment on Saturday morning. The articles of impeachment against Thomas are almost certain to fail in the Republican-controlled House. The articles for the justice cover a wide range of behavior, from reportedly taking gifts from his billionaire friend, Harlan Crow, to not recusing himself from cases in which his wife, Virginia, Ginny Thomas, had an interest. Thomas previously defended himself in a statement, arguing that the gifts from Crow were not reportable, that he had sought out guidance before accepting them, and that he always sought to comply with the disclosure guidelines. Ginny Thomas told Trump's former chief of staff Mark Meadows in the wake of Trump's 2020 election loss that he should encourage the then-president not to concede to President-elect Joe Biden, according to text messages obtained by the House Select Committee tasked with investigating the Capitol riot that occurred on January 6, 2021. Ginny Thomas later told the committee that her husband was completely unaware of her text message exchange with Meadows until this committee leaked them to the press. At a judicial conference in Alabama in early May, the justice said, "My wife and I, the last 2 or 3 years, just the nastiness and the lies," without explaining what instances he was referring to. "There's certainly been a lot of negativity in our lives, my wife and I, over the last few years, but we choose not to focus on it," he added. Ocasio-Cortez also introduced articles of impeachment against Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, another conservative, which are also extremely likely to fail. The allegations against Alito deal with a reportedly undisclosed luxury trip from a wealthy donor and his refusal to recuse himself from cases involving the attempted overturn of the 2020 election, citing the controversial upside-down American flag-flying incident outside his Alexandria, Virginia, home in the days before Biden was inaugurated, and the "appeal to heaven" flag flown at his vacation home in New Jersey last summer. Alito said that it was his wife's decision to fly the flags and that he had nothing to do with it. He has addressed calls for his recusal and declined to step aside, writing in a letter in late May that the 2 flag incidents do not meet the conditions for recusal, citing the court's code of conduct. On Tuesday, a day before Ocasio-Cortez introduced the articles of impeachment, Whitehouse, chair of the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Federal Courts, and Wyden, chair of the Senate Finance Committee, announced that they sent a letter to U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland last week, asking him to appoint a special counsel to investigate the justice for potential violations of ethics and tax laws. Public investigative reporting and information obtained by the Senate Judiciary Committee has revealed that billionaire Harlan Crow has donated to Justice Thomas numerous gifts over the past 20 years, almost none of which were disclosed by Justice Thomas as the Ethics in Government Act require, the letter reads. The letter also accused Thomas of not disclosing over $267,000 in taxable income from forgiven debt. When you have certain duties and obligations as a public servant, including a member of Congress, you need to lean into addressing the abuses of government officials, that include Supreme Court justices. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of the most shocking events in recent history. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of the stories that shape our world. And we'll see you next time.